The wild. It's an unforgiving place. Beautiful, yes, but beneath that beauty lies a raw, untamed power. Out here, you're not at the top of the food chain. Every rustle of leaves, every shadow that flickers at the edge of your vision could be a warning. You're walking through the forest. The air is thick, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay. The wind whispers through the trees, a low, mournful sound, and then you hear it. A snap, a twig breaking under immense weight, a low, guttural growl that vibrates right through your bones. Something's watching you. Before you can even turn your head, before your mind can process the danger, it charges. It's a grizzly bear. What do? What's your first instinct? Panic sets in like a cold poison, freezing your muscles, clouding your judgment. Do you run? Do you scream for help that will never come? Every choice you make in these next few seconds is critical. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, and you're dead. This isn't a film, there are no second takes. Out here, nature is the ultimate arbiter of life and death, and it doesn't care about your plans or your fears. It only understands strength, strategy, and the will to survive against all odds. Survival is a brutal, primal dance, and you've just been pulled onto the floor. But don't panic. Fear is your greatest enemy, more dangerous than any claw or fang. It paralyzes you, makes you predictable prey. Today, I'm going to arm you with knowledge, the most powerful weapon you can carry into the wilderness. I'll show you 15 survival tips that could save your life from some of the planet's deadliest predators. We're talking about lions, crocodiles, snakes, wolves, gorillas, and more. Trust me, some of these tactics go against every instinct you have, but they are the difference between becoming a statistic and walking away to tell the tale. This is about rewriting the rules of engagement. So listen closely. This isn't just about entertainment, it's about empowerment. The wild demands respect, and respect comes from understanding. Hit that like button now and subscribe, because this knowledge could one day save your life. It's a mental toolkit you can carry anywhere, from the deepest jungle to the highest mountain. The skills you learn today could be the critical factor that tips the scales in your favor when you find yourself in a life or death situation. Let's get into it. The wild is waiting. Imagine the scene. You're on the African savanna, the sun beating down, the air shimmering with heat. Or perhaps you're in the dense jungles of Asia surrounded by a wall of green. Suddenly you see it. A flicker of gold in the tall grass, a flash of orange and black stripes, a big cat, a lion, or a tiger. It's spotted you. Its body is coiled, a perfect engine of muscle and predatory instinct, its eyes locked onto yours. Your heart hammers against your ribs, a frantic drumbeat of terror. Every fiber of your being screams at you to turn and run, to get away as fast as you can. But that is the single worst thing you could possibly do. Running is what prey does. The moment you turn your back and flee, you trigger a deep, hardwired hunting instinct that has been perfected over millions of years. To a lion or a tiger, your running figure is an invitation, a signal that the chase is on. They are faster, more agile, and built for this exact scenario. You won't outrun them. Instead, you must fight your instincts, you must stand your ground. This is a battle of wills, a psychological war fought in the space of a few terrifying seconds. You have to show this apex predator that you are not easy prey. You are a threat. So what do? You hold its gaze. Do not look away. Maintain direct eye contact to signal that you are aware, that you are not intimidated. You need to make yourself appear larger and more formidable than you are. Stand tall, puff out your chest, raise your arms slowly. If you have a jacket, open it wide. The goal is to break the predator's image of you as a small, helpless target. Then, without turning your back, begin to back away slowly, one deliberate step at a time. No sudden movements, no shouting yet, just a calm, assertive retreat that communicates strength. But what if it charges? What if your display of confidence isn't enough? If that cat comes for you, your survival depends on changing the dynamic completely. You must fight back with everything you have. This is no time for submission. Grab a rock, a heavy branch, your backpack, anything you can use as a weapon. Yell, scream, make as much noise as possible. Aim for the sensitive areas, the eyes, the nose. Show the animal that you are dangerous, that attacking you will come at a high cost. It's a calculated risk, but in this deadly game, demonstrating you're not weak is your only winning move. Bears. They are the titans of the northern forests, icons of raw, untamed wilderness. An encounter with one can be a truly awe-inspiring experience, but it can also be your last. The crucial thing to remember is that not all bears are the same. Your survival strategy depends entirely on which species you're facing. A tactic that might save you from one could get you killed by another. First, let's talk about the black bear. They're generally smaller, more timid, and more common across North America. If you find yourself face to face with a black bear, your goal is intimidation. You need to be the aggressor. This is not the time to be quiet. You need to make yourself look as large and as threatening as possible. Raise your arms above your head, spread your legs, and make yourself a formidable silhouette against the landscape. Shout at the bear in a deep, firm voice. Bang pots and pans if you have them, or smash sticks against a tree. The objective is to convince the bear that you are more trouble than you're worth. In most cases, a black bear that isn't protecting cubs will be more scared of you than you are of it. It doesn't want to fight. It just wants to know you're not a threat to its safety. But if the bear standing before you is a grizzly or a brown bear, the rules change completely. Everything I just told you to do, forget it. A grizzly is a different beast altogether. It's larger, more powerful, and far more likely to see your aggressive display as a challenge, not a threat. Trying to intimidate a grizzly is like waving a red flag at a bull. Do not shout, do not make eye contact, as it can be interpreted as a challenge, and whatever you do not fight back, at least not initially. If a grizzly decides to attack, your only real chance is to play dead. This goes against every survival instinct, but it is your best hope. As the bear approaches, drop to the ground. Lie flat on your stomach, spreading your legs slightly to make it harder for the bear to flip you over. Clasp your hands firmly behind your neck to protect your spine and major arteries. Stay as still and as silent as possible. The bear may bite or claw at you, testing to see if the threat is neutralized. It will be the most terrifying moments of your life, but you must remain motionless. In most cases, the grizzly will lose interest and move on, believing you are no longer a danger. Knowing your enemy is the key. Right. You're out on the African savanna, the sun beating down, and suddenly the ground begins to tremble. It's an elephant, a magnificent, colossal creature, but its ears are flared wide, its head is high, and its trunk is curled. This is a display of power, a warning shot across your bow. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to turn and flee, to get as far away as possible from this ton of raw, untamed power. But that is precisely the wrong move. Running now could trigger a genuine chase, a deadly game you are guaranteed to lose. You have to fight that primal urge and hold your nerve because your life truly depends on it. This initial display is often a mock charge, a test of your resolve. The elephant wants to see if you are a threat. It will thunder towards you, kicking up dust. A terrifying spectacle designed to send lesser creatures scattering. But you're not a lesser creature. You're a survivor. You must stand your ground. Don't shout, don't wave your arms, just be still, a silent, unmoving presence. It's a battle of wills, a high-stakes psychological game played on nature's grandest stage. The elephant is asking a question with its charge, and your stillness is the answer. I am not a threat, but I am not prey. But you have to read the signs, and you have to read them fast. A mock charge will have the elephant's ears fanned out, making it look bigger, and its trunk will likely be hanging down or curled inwards. It might stop short, shake its head, and then back away. However, if those ears are pinned back against its head, and its trunk is curled tightly under its body, that's not a test anymore. That is a genuine, full-blown attack, and your strategy must change in a split second. The game is over, and the real survival begins. This is the moment of truth, the point where bluff turns into a brutal life-or-death pursuit. If that charge doesn't stop, if that mountain of muscle and bone keeps coming, it's time to move. You run. But not in a straight line. An elephant is surprisingly fast, but it's not agile. You need to run in a zigzag pattern, forcing it to change direction, which will slow it down considerably. Your goal is to find cover, something substantial you can put between you and the animal. A massive boulder, a deep ditch, a very large, sturdy tree. You're not trying to outrun it forever, just long enough to break its line of sight and its momentum. You use the environment as your shield, your only ally in this desperate race for survival. The light is fading, the temperature is dropping, and you're miles from anywhere. Then you see it. A flicker of movement in the trees, a pair of eyes glowing in the twilight, then another pair and another. Suddenly, you're not alone. You're surrounded by a wolf pack. They are intelligent, strategic hunters, and they are masters of psychological warfare. Their greatest weapon is their coordinated attack, their ability to test, probe, and exploit any weakness. The worst thing you can do right now is panic and show fear. They can smell it, they can sense it, and it will embolden them, confirming that you are nothing more than prey. Your survival now depends on projecting an aura of confidence you absolutely do not feel. You must stand tall, make yourself as large as possible. If you have a jacket, open it wide. Hold your pack above your head. You are communicating with them in the only language they understand, body language. You are not prey. You are a challenge, something unpredictable and potentially dangerous. Never, ever turn your back on them. That is an open invitation to attack. Keep your eyes on them, scanning the pack, moving your head slowly, but keeping your body facing the alpha, the clear leader of the group. You must begin a slow, deliberate retreat. Do not run. Running signifies prey, and it will trigger their deep-seated chase instinct. They are faster than you. They have more stamina, and they will run you to the ground. Instead, you back away, one step at a time, never taking your eyes off them. Keep your movements smooth and predictable. Any sudden jerks could be misinterpreted as aggression or fear. You are engaged in a tense, silent negotiation for your life. You are showing them that you respect their power, but you are not surrendering to it. You are leaving their territory, but on your own terms. As you back away, maintain a low, guttural growl or a firm, commanding voice. Don't scream. A high-pitched shriek sounds like a wounded animal. You want to sound like a predator, not like prey. This auditory defense complements your physical posture, creating a multi-sensory message of defiance. You are an unknown quantity, a risk they might not be willing to take. The pack works on a risk-reward basis. If you can make yourself seem like too much trouble, too much of a risk for the reward of a meal, they may just decide to let you go melting back into the shadows as silently as they appeared. It happens in a flash. A rustle in the undergrowth, a sharp searing pain in your leg, and 2 small puncture wounds that are already beginning to swell. You've been bitten by a venomous snake. The first thing that floods your mind is panic, followed by all the myths you've seen in old films. Cutting the wound, sucking out the venom, applying a tourniquet, forget all of it. These are dangerous, life-threatening mistakes. Sucking the venom is not only ineffective, but it can also introduce bacteria from your mouth into the wound, leading to a nasty infection. Worse, you could absorb the venom through cuts in your mouth. The most critical element now is time, and your enemy is your own circulatory system. The venom is in your body, and every beat of your heart is pumping it further through your veins towards your vital organs. Your primary objective is to slow this process down as much as possible. You must stay calm. I know it sounds impossible when your leg is on fire and fear is clawing at your throat, but panicking will elevate your heart rate, which is like hitting the accelerator on the poison's journey through your body. Take slow, deep breaths. Sit down. You need to stop moving immediately. Immobilize the bitten limb. If you were bitten on the arm or leg, keep it below the level of your heart. This uses gravity to help slow the venom's travel back towards your core. If you have a piece of cloth or a bandage, you can wrap the limb, but do not make it a tight tourniquet. A tourniquet cuts off all blood flow, which can cause massive tissue damage and might even necessitate amputation later. You want a pressure immobilization bandage, wrapped as snugly as you would for a sprain. The goal is to slow the movement of venom through the lymphatic system, which lies just under the skin. Once you have immobilized the limb and calmed your breathing, your only job is to get professional medical help. Every single second counts. If you have a phone, call for emergency services and tell them your exact location and, if you know it, the type of snake that bit you. Do not eat or drink anything, especially alcohol or caffeine, as these can speed up your metabolism and the absorption of the venom. Your survival now is a race against the clock. You have done everything you can to slow the poison down. Now you must rely on others to get you the anti-venom that will ultimately save your life. Right, you're deep in the jungle, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and vegetation. Suddenly, the undergrowth explodes. It's a silverback gorilla, a magnificent, powerful creature, but one that sees you as a threat in its territory. Your first instinct, your adrenaline-fueled impulse, might be to stare it down to show you're not afraid, but that's a fatal mistake. In the world of the gorilla, direct eye contact is a challenge, an act of aggression. It's an invitation to a fight you simply cannot win. This isn't about pride, it's about understanding the intricate social rules that govern this animal's world, and knowing your place within it. The silverback will likely beat its chest, a deafening rhythmic display of dominance designed to intimidate any rival. It might let out a roar that seems to shake the very trees around you. This is a bluff, a test of your intentions. This is your critical moment to de-escalate. You must immediately break eye contact. Look down at the ground, to the side, anywhere but into those intense, intelligent eyes. This simple act communicates that you are not a challenger. You are not there to take over its family or its territory. You are acknowledging its power, its absolute authority in this small patch of the world. Now you make yourself small, non-threatening. Drop your posture, crouch down to the ground. You want to appear as insignificant as possible. This is the opposite of how you deal with a predator like a big cat. Here, you're not trying to look big and scary. You're trying to look harmless and submissive. You're effectively saying, I am no threat to you or your family. Stay completely still. Don't make any sudden movements that could be misinterpreted. Every twitch, every flinch, could be seen as a sign of unpredictable behavior, and that's the last thing you want. Your survival depends on showing this animal that you understand and respect its rules. Patience is your greatest ally here. The gorilla might observe you for what feels like an eternity. It's assessing you, making sure you are truly not a threat. Once it's satisfied, it will likely lose interest and move on with its family troop. Only then, when it has turned its back and moved a safe distance away, can you even think about slowly, carefully backing away. In the kingdom of the gorilla, it's not the strongest or the bravest who survives. It's the one who understands the language of submission and humility. You live by their rules, or you don't live at all. It's that simple. Out in the woodlands or scrubland, you might not think of the wild boar as a top-tier threat, but you'd be dangerously wrong. These animals are pure muscle, armed with razor-sharp tusks that can tear through flesh with terrifying ease. They are notoriously aggressive, fiercely territorial, and incredibly fast over short distances. If you stumble upon one, especially a sow with piglets, you've wandered into a minefield. The low grunt, the stamping of a hoof, the fixed stare, these are the final warnings before an explosion of primal fury. Your window to react is vanishingly small, and a wrong move will be punished severely. Your immediate priority is to get vertical. A boar's primary weapons are its tusks and its charging momentum, both of which are devastating on the ground. But they are not climbers. Look around you fast. Scan your environment for any escape route that goes up. A sturdy tree, a high, sheer-faced boulder, even the roof of a derelict hunting cabin. Anything that puts you out of its reach is your sanctuary. You need to move with purpose and speed, because that boar can cover the distance between you in the blink of an eye. Don't hesitate, don't second guess, just climb. Your life depends on getting off the ground floor. But what if there's nowhere to climb? What if you're caught in open ground, a field or a clearing with no trees in sight? This is where you have to think laterally. You need to put a solid object between you and the charging animal. The boar relies on a straight-line, brute force attack. It doesn't have the agility to navigate complex obstacles at speed. A large rock, a fallen log, a thicket of dense bushes, anything that can break its line of sight and its charge can be a lifesaver. Keep circling it, keeping the object between you at all times, forcing the boar to constantly recalculate its attack. This isn't a fight you can win head-on. Trying to stand your ground against a charging boar is suicide. Its low center of gravity and sheer power will send you flying before you can even react. Your goal is not to defeat it, but to outwit it and outlast its aggression. By climbing or using an obstacle, you frustrate its attempts to attack. Eventually, if you present no easy target, its rage may subside, and it will lose interest. You have to use your wits, your environment, and your agility to survive an encounter with this powerhouse of untamed aggression. The water's edge is a place of primal danger. In many parts of the world, lurking just beneath the surface is one of nature's most perfect killing machines, the crocodile. Its patience is legendary, its camouflage perfect. It can wait for hours, days even, looking like a harmless floating log until the moment you venture too close. The attack is an explosion of violence, a lunge of incredible speed, and a bite force that can crush bone. If you find yourself in those jaws, you are in a desperate fight for your life. The first rule is simple, yet so often ignored: never ever swim in murky rivers or lakes, especially at dawn or dusk. That's prime hunting time. But if the worst happens, if you're seized and being dragged into the water, your survival instincts must override the terror. The crocodile's goal is to pull you under, to drown you, and then perform its infamous death roll to tear you apart. You cannot fight its strength, that's a losing battle. You must fight its weaknesses. You have to attack the most sensitive parts of this armored reptile. Your primary targets are its eyes. Gouge, jab, and press with all your might. This causes extreme pain and can disorient the creature long enough for it to release its grip, even for a second. That second is your chance. Another critical weak point is the snout, specifically the tip. While the crocodile's jaw-closing muscles are immensely powerful, the muscles used to open its mouth are surprisingly weak. If you can, target the sensitive nostrils or the palatal valve at the back of its throat, a flap of skin that stops water from entering its lungs when submerged. A strike here can be incredibly effective. Don't punch. The water will rob your blow of its power. Use your fingers, a knife if you have one, anything sharp to jab and dig. You are not trying to kill it, you are trying to make it believe you are more trouble than you are worth. The moment it loosens its grip, you must explode away from it. Don't linger. Swim for your life towards the nearest bank, thrashing and making as much commotion as possible now to hopefully deter a second attack. Once on land, don't stop. Get as far away from the water's edge as you can. The encounter is a brutal, terrifying testament to the raw power of nature. Surviving a crocodile attack isn't about being stronger, it's about being smarter, more desperate, and knowing exactly where to inflict the maximum amount of pain on a creature that is otherwise almost invincible in its element. Right, listen up, you're deep in the jungle, maybe the Amazon or Southeast Asia. The air is thick, humid, and every shadow seems to move. Suddenly you feel it, not a bite, not a scratch, but a powerful muscular rope wrapping around you. It's a python, one of nature's most efficient constrictors. Its goal is simple, to squeeze the life out of you. This isn't about venom, it's about pure raw power. The initial wrap might feel slow, almost deliberate, but don't be fooled. With every breath you exhale, it tightens its grip, reducing the space for your lungs to expand again. Panic is your worst enemy here. It makes you breathe faster, and that just helps the snake do its job. The key is to act before the coil is complete. You have a terrifyingly small window of opportunity. Once that snake has multiple loops around your torso, your chances of escape plummet with every second. It's a race against your own body's need for oxygen. You must fight with everything you've got from the very first moment of contact. Forget trying to unwrap it, you're not stronger than it is. It's like trying to bend a steel bar with your bare hands. You need to be smarter, more vicious. You have to become the predator in this situation. Your objective is to inflict so much pain that the snake reconsiders its meal choice. You are not prey, you are a survivor. Focus your attack on the head. It's the snake's command center. If you can't reach the head, go for the eyes. Use your thumbs, your fingers, a rock, anything you can grab. A sharp, debilitating jab to the eye can disorient it, causing it to loosen its grip just enough for you to breathe, to reposition. If you have a knife, now is the time to use it, but be careful. Thrashing around with a blade could injure you as much as the snake. Aim for decisive, powerful strikes to the head. This is a brutal, primal fight for your life, and you cannot afford to hesitate. Show it that you are a bigger threat than it bargained for. If the head is out of reach, you have one other desperate option. Try to get something, anything, between its coils and your body. Your arm, a stick, your backpack strap. This creates a small amount of space, a buffer that prevents it from achieving maximum constriction. As it squeezes, push against the object to try and create a wedge, forcing the coils apart. At the same time, try to control the snake's head with your other hand to prevent it from biting. It's a chaotic, terrifying struggle, but remember, the moment you give up, it's over. You fight, you injure, you create space, and you survive. That's the only rule out here. Imagine the scene. You're near a murky waterway in the Florida Everglades or the Louisiana Bayou. You see what looks like a floating log, but then it blinks. It's an alligator, a prehistoric killing machine that has perfected ambush hunting over millions of years. Their bite is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of snapping bone like a twig. But here's the crucial thing to remember about them. They are explosive sprinters, not marathon runners. They rely on the element of surprise and a single, devastating initial attack. If you find yourself in the crosshairs of a charging gator on land, your survival depends on exploiting its weaknesses. First, you must fight back. If it gets a hold of you, it will likely try to drag you into the water to perform its infamous death roll. You cannot let that happen. The moment its jaws clamp down, you go on the offensive. Do not try to pry its mouth open. The closing strength is immense, but the muscles to open it are surprisingly weak. Your target, once again, is the most sensitive part of its armored body, the eyes and the snout. Gouge, punch, and strike the eyes with all your force. A thumb in the eye can cause excruciating pain and might be enough to make it release its grip. Its snout is also packed with sensitive nerve endings. A hard blow there can stun it. This is not a clean fight. It's a desperate, messy, all-or-nothing battle. Once it releases you, or if you manage to avoid the initial bite, you need to run. But don't just run in a straight line. Alligators are incredibly fast over short distances, but they lack agility. They can't turn quickly. This is where the zigzag strategy comes in. By running in an erratic, weaving pattern, you force the alligator to constantly change direction, which slows it down significantly. It's built for straight-line bursts of speed, not for chasing an unpredictable target. Every turn you make puts more distance between you and those bone-crushing jaws. Your goal is to get away and find higher ground or a significant obstacle. Alligators are poor climbers, so getting up a steep embankment or behind a large tree can save your life. Keep putting distance between you and the animal. Its stamina is poor, and it will likely give up the chase if it perceives the effort to be too great. Remember, the alligator is an opportunist. It's looking for an easy meal. By fighting back ferociously and running intelligently, you are showing it that you are anything but easy. You are making yourself too much trouble to be worth the energy. In the wild, that is often the key to survival. You're out in the open ocean. The water is deep, blue, and you are miles from shore. Then you see it, a gray fin cutting through the water, a shark, the apex predator of the seas. The first instinct for most people is sheer terror, leading to frantic splashing and panicked attempts to swim away. This is the absolute worst thing you can do. Splashing mimics the erratic movements of a wounded fish, which is like ringing a dinner bell for a shark. It triggers their predatory curiosity and can turn a passing investigation into a full-blown attack. Your first and most critical action is to control your fear and stay calm. Maintain eye contact with the shark if you can. Sharks are ambush predators, and are less likely to attack if they know they've been spotted. Let it know you are aware of its presence. Don't turn your back on it. Slowly and calmly, try to back away towards a reef, a boat, or the shore. Move with deliberate, smooth motions. You want to signal that you are not prey. You are not a panicked seal. You are something different, something it should be wary of. If you're with a group, huddle together. A group presents a larger, more intimidating presence than a single individual. It's all about changing the predator-prey dynamic in your favor. If the shark continues to approach and becomes aggressive, you have to shift from defensive to offensive. This is your last resort. You must show it that you are not helpless. As it comes in for a bite, you need to make yourself as large as possible and prepare to fight back. Forget what you've seen in movies about punching it on the nose. While the nose is sensitive, it's dangerously close to the mouth. Your primary targets are the gills and the eyes. These are the shark's most vulnerable areas. A hard strike to the gills is like a punch to the gut. It's sensitive and can disrupt its breathing. Use anything you have as a weapon, a camera, a dive knife, even your bare hands. Jab at the eyes and gills with purpose. This is a life or death struggle, and you need to inflict pain. Sharks are not used to their food fighting back. A strong, painful blow can be enough to make it realize you're not worth the effort and swim away in search of an easier meal. Never give up. As long as you are conscious, you are in the fight. Stay calm, be defensive, and if you must, attack its weaknesses with everything you have. Your will to survive is your greatest weapon. Right, listen up. We've talked about the big beasts, the ones with teeth and claws that can tear you apart. But sometimes, the deadliest threat comes in a much, much smaller package. I'm talking about a swarm. Ants, bees, wasps. Individually, they're a nuisance. But together, as a collective superorganism, they are a force of nature you cannot underestimate. People have died from swarms. Your instinct, when one lands on you, is to swat it. It's a primal reaction. But in this situation, that single panicked swat is the worst thing you can possibly do. It's like throwing a match on a puddle of petrol. That crushed insect releases an alarm pheromone, a chemical signal that screams, "Attack!" to every single one of its mates, turning their mild curiosity into a full-blown coordinated assault. You see, that single swat has just painted a massive target on your back. The pheromones act like a beacon, guiding the fury of the entire hive or colony directly to you. Suddenly, you're not just dealing with one angry insect, you're facing hundreds, maybe thousands, all with a single purpose: to neutralize the threat, which is you. This isn't a fight you can win with brute force. You can't punch a swarm into submission. Every move you make to defend yourself, every flail of your arms, just makes you a bigger, more obvious target and confirms their assessment that you are a danger. Your survival now depends entirely on your next move, and it has to be the right one, executed without a moment's hesitation. So what's the plan? Forget fighting, forget standing your ground. Your only option is a tactical retreat, run. And I don't mean a casual jog, I mean sprint for your life. And here's the key: run in a straight line. Don't waste precious energy zigzagging. Most swarming insects aren't built for long-distance pursuit. They're designed for short, sharp defensive actions around their home. By running in a straight line, you put distance between you and the hive as quickly as possible. You need to get out of their immediate territory. Your goal isn't to outrun every single bee, but to outrun the main body of the swarm and get far enough away that their alarm signals fade and their defensive perimeter is no longer threatened. Your objective is shelter. Solid, impenetrable shelter. A building, a sealed car, anything you can get inside and close the door behind you. If there's no building in sight, your next best bet is a body of water. A lake, a river, even a deep pond. Submerging yourself completely will offer immediate protection, but be smart about it. They'll be waiting for you when you surface for air. You might have to come up, grab a quick breath, and go back under, moving away from the swarm's location with each breath. It's a desperate measure, but out here, desperation is often the mother of invention. Remember, don't swat, just run. Your life absolutely depends on it. Now let's talk about a threat that's often silent, unseen until it's too late. Spiders. They're everywhere, from the deepest jungles to the dusty corners of your own home. Most are harmless, incredible predators that keep insect populations in check, but a dangerous few, carry venom that can be utterly devastating to a human. The challenge here isn't a physical fight, it's a battle against time and the poison coursing through your veins. The first mistake people make is complacency. A tiny pinprick, a little red mark, it's easy to dismiss. Oh, it's just a spider bite, you might think. That thought, that underestimation could be a fatal error. You must treat every unidentified spider bite as potentially life-threatening until proven otherwise. The venom of a dangerous spider, like a black widow or a brown recluse, is a complex cocktail of neurotoxins or cytotoxins. It doesn't work like a punch or a cut. It's a chemical weapon attacking your body from the inside out. It's a silent countdown. You might not feel much at first, but inside, a war has begun. The venom is binding to your nerve cells or dissolving your tissues. That's why you absolutely must be your own first responder. You need to become hyper-aware of your body, monitoring it for any change, no matter how small. Your ability to recognize the early warning signs is the most critical survival skill you have in this scenario. Don't wait for the pain to become unbearable. The clock is ticking. So what are you looking for? Pay attention. The initial bite might just be a small red welt, maybe with 2 tiny puncture marks. But then, the symptoms begin to cascade. Are you feeling nauseous, like a sudden wave of seasickness on dry land? Is the world starting to spin? A dizzying vertigo that makes it hard to stand? Are your muscles beginning to cramp and spasm uncontrollably, starting near the bite and radiating outwards? These are not just minor discomforts, these are red flags. These are signals from your nervous system that it is under a severe toxic assault. Other signs can include a splitting headache, profuse sweating, or a racing heart. Never, ever ignore these symptoms. Your body is screaming for help. If you experience any of these signs, your mission is simple and singular. Get to a hospital, immediately. There is no field remedy for a potent spider bite. Forget the old myths about cutting the wound or trying to suck out the venom. That's just going to cause more damage and infection. Your only course of action is professional medical intervention, where they can administer antivenom. While you're waiting for help or making your way there, try to stay calm and keep the bite area immobilized and below the level of your heart to slow the venom's spread. It's a race against the poison, and knowing the symptoms is what gives you a head start. In the wild, knowledge isn't just power, it's survival. Right, you're in the desert, maybe seeking shelter under a rock overhang or clearing out a space to sleep for the night. You move a stone, and suddenly, a sharp, searing pain shoots up your hand. You've been hit. It's a scorpion, one of the most feared creatures of these arid landscapes. Its tail, arched like a question mark of death, has just delivered its venomous payload. Your first instinct is to panic, to thrash around, to scream. But that's the absolute worst thing you can do. Panic elevates your heart rate, and a faster heartbeat is like an express delivery service for that venom, pumping it through your veins at an accelerated pace, spreading the poison to every corner of your body. The key here is absolute stillness. You have to fight every primal urge telling you to move. Think of your body as a still pond. Any movement creates ripples, spreading the venom further from the sting site. You must become a statue, a rock, completely immobile. This is a battle of mind over matter, a true test of your discipline in a life-or-death situation. The scorpion's venom is designed to incapacitate its prey, and by staying calm and still, you are actively working against its biological purpose. You are slowing down the enemy's advance within your own system, buying yourself precious, life-saving time. Every second of stillness is a victory. Once you've mastered your body and brought your heart rate down, your next move is to deal with the immediate area of the sting. If you have ice or even just a cool canteen of water, apply it to the wound. The cold will help to constrict the blood vessels locally, creating a sort of natural barrier that slows the venom's absorption into your bloodstream. This is basic battlefield medicine, using the environment to your advantage, but be careful not to use a tourniquet. That can trap the venom and cause severe tissue damage. The goal is to slow the venom, not to stop the blood flow entirely. This simple act of applying cold can significantly reduce the severity of the symptoms. Now, with your body still and the wound cooled, you must not consume anything. No food, no water, not even a sip. Ingesting anything can speed up your metabolism, which in turn accelerates the spread of the venom throughout your system. It's a tough ask, especially when you're dehydrated in the desert heat, but it's non-negotiable. Your final, most critical action is to call for help. Use your satellite phone, your personal locator beacon, whatever you've got. You've done everything you can to manage the situation, but most scorpion stings require professional medical intervention and anti-venom. You've bought yourself time. Now you need to get to safety. We've talked about lions, bears, snakes, and scorpions. We've covered the specifics of how to react to each one, but there is one predator more dangerous, more lethal than any of them. It lives inside you. It's called fear. In any survival situation, whether you're facing down a grizzly or lost in the jungle, fear is the real killer. It clouds your judgment, hijacks your decision-making processes, and paralyzes you when you need to act the most. It floods your system with adrenaline, leading to rash, often fatal decisions. Running when you should stand still, freezing when you should fight. These are the symptoms of fear taking control. The first step to conquering this internal enemy is to acknowledge it. Feel the fear, let the adrenaline surge, but don't let it command you. The secret is to breathe. It sounds simple, almost foolishly so, but it's the most powerful tool you have. Take a deep, deliberate breath, hold it, and then release it slowly. This action sends a signal to your brain, interrupting the panic cycle. It tells your primal instincts that you are still in control, that the executive part of your brain is taking over. This moment of controlled breathing is a reset button. It clears the fog, allowing you to move from pure reaction to considered action. It's the pause that can save your life. With that one clear breath, you can begin to think. Assess the situation logically. What is the immediate threat? What are my resources? What is my objective? Survival is a series of problems that need to be solved. Panic sees only the overwhelming danger. A calm mind sees the individual steps needed to overcome it. Instead of, a tiger is going to eat me, you start thinking, the tiger is there. I need to make myself look big. I need to back away slowly. I will not turn my back. You break down the insurmountable into manageable tasks. This mental shift from victim to problem solver is the essence of survival. Remember this, nature is indifferent. The storm doesn't care if you're cold, the river doesn't care if you can't swim, and the predator doesn't care if you're scared. The only thing that matters is your next move. Every tip, every technique we've discussed in this video is useless if your mind is crippled by fear. Your brain is your sharpest blade, your strongest shield. Keeping it calm, clear, and focused is not just a suggestion, it's the fundamental rule. It is the one hack that governs all others, the master key that unlocks your ability to endure and ultimately, to come out alive. Staying calm truly is the difference between life and death. Nature is beautiful, awe-inspiring, a place of incredible power and wonder. But it is also unforgiving. It operates on a simple, brutal logic that doesn't care if you live or die. Out here you are just another part of the food chain, another creature trying to make it to the next sunrise. That's why knowing what to do, being prepared not just with gear but with knowledge, could be the single most important factor in saving your life. These aren't just interesting facts, they are a blueprint for survival, a mental toolkit for when things go horribly, terribly wrong. The wild demands respect, and that respect is paid through preparation. So the next time you're deep in the wild, miles from civilization, with nothing but the sounds of the forest around you, remember these lessons. Don't run, don't scream, don't freeze in terror. Use your brain. that incredible survival computer you carry between your ears. Engage with the situation, analyze the threat, and deploy the right strategy. Think about the animal's instincts and use them against it. These tips are your ammunition in the fight for your life. They can transform you from potential prey into a formidable survivor, someone who can face the raw power of nature and walk away. If this video opened your eyes to the realities of the wild, then do us a favor and smash that like button. It helps us bring more of these crucial survival stories to you. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on how to stay safe out there. We want to build a community of prepared adventurers. And before you go, drop a comment below and let us know which animal scares you the most. We'd love to hear your thoughts and fears. Every comment helps us understand what you want to learn next. Thank you for watching. Remember to explore, to challenge yourself, and to embrace the adventure that this incredible planet has to offer. But always do it with wisdom and respect. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and carry this knowledge with you wherever you go. Stay smart, stay prepared, and above all, stay safe out there. Your life could depend on it. Until next time.